These gang members shot a rival drug dealer to death in a planned and targeted execution in London. Drug dealer Kai McGinley was blasted to death with a shotgun after rival gang members ambushed him. On the day of the murder, on the 9th of February 2023, Kai was driving with his friends, Bill Burton and Norman Samura, in a stolen Mini Cooper. At around 8:45 p.m, they were travelling along Pembroke Road when a Land Rover Freelander drove at them in the opposite direction with its lights off. In an attempt to let the oncoming Land Rover pass, Kai began to move the Mini to the left-hand side of the road, but it was hit deliberately, at speed and with force by the Land Rover. Other members of the group also involved in the targeted attack then jumped out of a Peugeot, and 5 shots were fired from 2 shotguns at point-blank range into the victim's Mini. Kai McGinley was pronounced dead at the scene after being shot in the chest, while his friends William Burton and Norman Samura suffered minor injuries. Bradley Reeve, Enrico Spahiu, and Anthony Walder were alleged to have been in the Peugeot during the attack. Kai Osibodu, Connor Brooks, Jalise Selby Gangara, and Charlie Brabon were alleged to have been in the Land Rover. They were all arrested and charged with murder. Detectives managed to crack the case by piecing together complicated CCTV evidence to place a number of the men near the scene. The footage revealed that following the murder, the gang hid in a garage belonging to Bradley Reeve as they waited for a family member to come and get them. In court, Bradley Reeve was convicted of murder and Section 18 GBH. He was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum term of 33 years. Kai Osibodu was convicted of murder and Section 18 GBH. He was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum term of 30 years. Anthony Walder was convicted of murder and Section 18 GBH. He was sentenced to life imprisonment with a minimum term of 29 years. Enrico Spahiu was convicted of murder and Section 18 GBH. He was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum term of 29 years. Connor Brooks was convicted of manslaughter and he was sentenced to 12 years in prison. Jalise Selby Gangara was convicted of manslaughter and he was sentenced to 9 in prison. Charlie Brabon was also convicted of manslaughter and he was sentenced to 9 years in prison. Follow the page and leave a comment on any other criminal cases you'd like to see on the channel.